It's the Dear Aunty podcast with your favorite aunties, Carm and Co.
Talk to me. What's going on with you?
You need advice, and they've got the answers. Auntie gon' keep it real.
Hey, Auntie. Hey, Auntie. Hey, Auntie.
You're tuned in to the Dear Aunty podcast. With your favorite aunties. I'm Co.
And I'm Carm.
And we are here to offer you some advice, regardless of what you might be going through. Your aunties got the answers to get you through.
Period.
Now, y'all have heard of the Year of Yes, right? Shonda Rhimes, she wrote a book.
Uh-huh.
It was all about, I never finished it. I need to go back and finish it.
I didn't either.
I'm notorious for starting
I have
books
so
and
many
not-
books.
So many. But the premise, I do know the premise, was she was going to start saying yes to things, right? She's going
Right.
to try new things. She's going to say yes to new opportunities, which is all really great, and I am not against it.
Thumbs up.
However, I'm in my year of no. And I'm going to encourage y'all. I'm going to usher y'all into your year of no, too. So let me
Okay.
explain this. The year of no is all about saying no to things that no longer serve you, saying no to things that are a reflection of your past and not of your future. If it is not a hell yes, then it should be a no.
Oh, I like
And we're
that.
getting into it today.
I like it.
Are you, how do you say no, or do you say yes to things that should be a no? Are you
No.
a mild people pleaser?
No, not at all.
Okay. Not
no,
at all.
No is like my favorite word.
Really?
I love it.
You can say no without feeling bad.
Yeah, all the time.
I'm easing into it.
I'm going to say that you should really try it out. It is so empowering.
It's like I've
and
heard this
freeing.
whole no is a
Yeah.
complete sentence thing. That sounds good.
I don't feel bad about it.
But I do have some lingering guilt.
Yeah, especially I think this really picked it up a notch when I started working in a CEO role, where people are consistently and constantly asking you for things that you cannot do, will not be doing in the future. And you finally, at some point, you get so overwhelmed where you just have to tell people
You have
no.
to.
And
It's
it
not a choice
becomes
anymore.
like an ease thing. Yeah. Like, no, we can't do that until next quarter. Next.
I love that. Carmen, so you should be leading this conversation because
No, I wanna hear-
am-
I wanna hear your
I'm
thoughts.
easing into it because I definitely have gotten better with saying no, but I have some residual feelings.
Now, what
like,
makes you
ooh,
feel like that?
Can I make it happen? I think being pushed into performative action. We've talked about
Okay.
that. Like doing things because you feel like
somebody wants you to
obligated.
do
Yeah,
it.
like I'm
Okay.
obligated to do these things. I don't have a choice in the matter. But as a grown-ass woman, you definitely have a choice in the matter.
So what's going to happen if you say no and those people...
Right, what are you going to do? You're
Like,
going to
what-
beat me up or something?
Yeah, like,
I
what are they
don't
going to
know.
do? What do you think they're going to do to you?
I think it's just a letting them down thing. Not that you're going to do
Well, guess what?
anything, but...
People are let down every day,
Especially-
B.
I'm learning this with my husband, too. So you don't have a problem with your... No.
No.
I do people please with my husband because I feel like
You're such a nice wife.
I mean, I want you to be happy.
No, don't get me wrong. I want my husband to be happy too. But there are certain things where I'm just like, it's not on the agenda this week. It cannot
can't
be
happen.
done. I have so much shit going on this week that I need you to understand that this can't happen this week.
You
Just
know
like he
what's-
wants you to understand when stuff can't happen.
This is true. This is true. I think so. I think also when I do say yes, when it should have been a no, I end up regretting it.
And it's not. It just
Every
honestly.
time.
Thank you for saying that because I was going to get to that, but that's the biggest piece of it is you start to build resentment for the people you're doing things for, and it's like, are you actually a nice person, or are you just doing this because you want to seem
feel-
nice,
yeah, and you
or
feel
you want
obligated.
to seem kind? When honestly, it's like if I'm not doing something, and don't get me wrong, and I want this to be a clear message for the nieces and nephews. Sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do.
This is facts.
It isn't always going to be a situation where you get to say no. Oh, I don't feel like it today. Some things you just have to do. But please just use your discretion. And I'm talking, the grown folks know what I'm talking about when it comes to this. Sometimes we're so exhausted and we have so much on our plate that some things require a no.
And then you have nothing left for yourself, which
Exactly.
leads to burnout. So
Yeah.
today we're getting into this
Let's-
conversation
we
around
feel like we already
boundaries.
got into it.
We're into it, but before we really dive deep, it's you this time. Willy Wonka, guys.
What he had
Auntie
did.
got some bad news. I did not know the history of this Willy Wonka story.
I'm
So
scared.
TikTok taught me. TikTok is always teaching
You
auntie
and this
something. Let me
TikTok.
tell y'all. And do your research on your own. Do your Googles, okay? But there's a TikTok of a lady dispelling the myth of this Willy Wonka foolishness. So
Okay.
I loved Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
too.
Factory. The original.
Yeah.
There's a new one, right?
Yeah, with Oh boy, I forgot his name.
Well, yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
talking
know
about that one. We're not talking about that.
anybody's
I'm talking about the old one, okay? Old
Yeah.
school. Either way, the story's the same. So apparently, y'all, word on the curb is Willy Wonka's chocolate factory was not full of Oompa Loompas. It was full of slaves,
Now say
black
what now?
children that were almost like farmed out for sightseeing purposes. So people would take a trip to Willy Wonka's
So
chocolate factory
A plantation.
that was really his plantation of slaves.
Is that why he had that hat on?
Listen.
Like the little overseer hat?
Was Leonardo DiCaprio's name not Master Candy in Django?
Oh my.
I'm like, wow, the rabbit hole here. It's deep.
The
It's
alignment is crazy. That's
It's crazy.
insane.
That's crazy, right?
Why must our childhood continue to be
ruined.
ruined?
It's
I don't
ruined.
want to know. Stop with the information.
deep. Yeah.
I don't want
TikTok-
any more
TikTok will
information.
traumatize you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sad about that.
I hate it here. And I really loved Willy Wonka.
Don't tell me anything
Let us know in the comments some other
else.
conspiracies. Ruin our lives in other ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Moving on. Auntie would never.
What you
Okay.
got this week, Carmen?
I just want to say we've had these conversations consistently about social media and how y'all just put too much information on there.
Cutting up.
And I am so over, and Auntie would never also steal something from the store and then put it online for the world to see. I see this consistently.
What's happening with the stealing?
Why are the thieves putting it on social media?
But there's like a law or something. Is this in California? I was reading on it briefly.
know.
But you've seen all the videos of people like looting all the stores and
Yeah.
nobody's doing anything
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
There's some law where it's now like a misdemeanor or something. You don't get arrested. You could basically get away with it.
Really? So
Yeah.
just steal. I mean, with the economy the way it is, hey. But I'm not condoning stealing, guys.
Would you do it if you can get away with it? If you
Would I
could
steal?
run into the Louis Vuitton store right now and get the bag you've been eyeballing and they can't press charges, would you do it? If nobody knew you did it.
That's a great question.
It is. What's your answer?
I think the answer is yes. That people, I think people, if people could steal without getting caught,
Carmen,
I think they would steal.
not people.
me.
You.
Me.
You.
Okay, we're talking to me.
We're talking to Carmen. What would
All
Carmen
right.
do?
I wouldn't go into the Louis Vuitton store.
Okay.
Still.
You don't want the Louis. What you want, Carmen? Where you
if
going?
I was gonna steal something, I'd probably go to Victoria's Secret because them bras is way too expensive.
Stop
and I
it.
would just sweep my arm across the whole little
You're
rack.
a practical
and
shoplifter.
I need some bras.
You
So
want
I
some
would,
practical
I
things.
would steal from Victoria's Secret, and then, I mean, let's be real. I've stolen before in my life as a broke college student, and you know, I got away with it. Thank God.
Did
But,
you?
yeah,
I definitely got caught
I think
stealing.
I'm out of the statute
Girl, I
of
got
limitations.
caught stealing from the Walmart in high school. Let's
Did
talk about it.
you?
And was stealing like socks and razors. Very practical
well,
things like you.
I am a firm believer that if people get caught stealing food, that they should
You
have
should just
no
give them the food.
consequences.
Yeah, just give them
Like
the
I'm
food.
stealing eggs, dude. Relax. You know what I mean? And that's why I said Louis Vuitton. I was like, Louis Vuitton is like, you're just being greedy at that point.
Well, I feel like I would just be being greedy because I don't need anything. I don't need to go steal like baby diapers.
but
you
I
know?
do need bras.
If you're stealing necessities, I think people should have a heart, and obviously you're stealing for a
Yeah.
reason. But I need to find out these laws because.
But yeah, people are stealing and putting it on social media.
They
I think
are.
that is the dumbest thing
It's pretty
ever.
dumb. Yeah, it's pretty dumb, and it's gonna come back and haunt you. And that is what I think people aren't. Anything that you put on social media, I mean, they be digging up tweets from 2008. So anything you
Yeah.
put out there is
And
liable to
thieves
come
don't
back
get
up.
hired.
Yeah.
for
At all.
anything.
At all.
Yeah.
At all. So what I personally would never do
Mm-hmm.
or never be okay with.
Okay.
Let me look you in your eyes when I say this.
my.
Auntie would never be a work wife or be okay for the work husband, work wife thing.
Dynamic.
Yeah, as a real wife, as a wife, a home wife,
Hashtag real.
at the housewife, full-time wife, living this life, wife.
Putting in a work wife.
I wish
You wish it would.
the nurses
Fill in the
down
blank.
at the job don't even bring my man leftovers. Don't bring him lunch. Don't ask him do he want you to pick him up something. No.
So no work wife situation
No,
for you.
I would never.
I used to be a work wife.
Really? Were you married? At
I
the
wasn't. I was single, but he had a girlfriend.
Time? Okay.
And I think we kind of just fell into it. It wasn't like we were like,
just
oh,
happened
yeah, just
kinda
kind of
thing?
fell in it. And, you know, he used to bring me food from the house.
So how does this happen? So you're familiar with this. I'm not.
We were just really good friends. We worked closely because we were teachers at the time, and he helped me in my classroom. He was like an assistant. And we would make jokes, and we were just really friends.
Were y'all flirting? Like,
no,
not
it was
at all.
strictly a platonic situation. I met his girlfriend. Me and her were cool, that kind of thing. But he would actively and openly call me his work wife in front of her. Like, it's my work wife. And so at the time, I was a bit younger.
Girl, my pressure.
So I didn't really understand it how I understand it now as an actual
As a wife,
like
yeah.
wife. So yeah.
So does it
Shout
matter?
out to her for being so like
Crazy?
chill about it.
Girl, because what? How did that end up? So is it appropriate if both people are single? Then it's okay, I guess.
I feel like
why,
yes.
But why aren't y'all just dating? Maybe I don't understand the concept. Y'all are just friends at work?
I just think it's meant to refer to someone of the opposite sex who you've established some sort of relationship with, where it feels like a nurturing maybe relationship, which is what really would piss me off.
That your man is at work getting nurtured
by someone. Because the food, imagine, food is the key to a man's heart.
So she's
you're bringing
him
food.
cupcakes and all of the things.
All of the
I was
things.
thinking of this is my issue. Mm-hmm. You were thinking of this person.
You were thinking of him.
You were thinking of him.
Why
last
was you
night
thinking of him so
while
hard?
you making your food? You think about my man.
Oh, see,
Please
now,
do not.
Now I'm upset.
Now we've got to talk.
Oh, my goodness.
Because I'm doing the thinking for him.
Husband, you better not have a work wife.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
It's not going
let's
down.
get into some tea.
All right.
This tea is a full circle moment because we talked about this NPC trend. Shout out to Pinky
did.
Doll. Ice cream, good.
I'm still looking into it,
You're still
deciding
looking
if
into
I'm
it.
going to make that move.
Try it. We're going to try it. Well, Pinky Doll has a new song out, apparently. Ice cream, good. And I'm not mad at Pinky Doll. I'm not mad at any of you young nieces out there who's finding ways to capitalize off of the internet. I mean, if you're doing it in a way that does not compromise your
Let's be
safety,
honest, she
your
did what
sanity,
she was
your
supposed to
morals.
do.
You did what you're supposed to do. Cardi B is shouting her out now.
Yeah.
It's becoming a thing. So shout out to you. Get your coin. But Nicki Minaj has hopped on the trend now. She's the latest celebrity to hop on. That's it. That's all. That's all the news.
I don't have
Moment of
anything to
silence.
say.
I do think, well, we already talked about Nicki Minaj, so we can move on.
What you want to say, Auntie Co?
I think that sometimes when celebrities start to just do things that us common folks are doing, it like
'Cause it's
waters
like,
down the brand. Like, why are you doing that?
Now we don't want it.
Yeah, we don't want it now.
Yeah,
We're over it
Yeah.
at this point.
That's the problem with celebs. They're always trying to be so common. I like when my celebs were above us.
We're above us. Yeah, be Beyonce.
Yeah,
Like, we
be a
should know all of
superstar.
that.
Don't talk.
We should know all of that.
Okay.
Some other things that we should not know. Let me tell you what I don't want to know.
Oh,
no
boy.
more. Ty, you got to get back in here for this segment.
Come on in here, Ty.
Because Derek Jackson and his wife are on a media tour. What are they doing?
Wait a minute. Together?
Not together, separately.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
So we know, was this last year, 2 years ago? I don't know when it was, but Jackson Gate happened, right? Where it came out that the Derek Jackson, relationship guru, was in fact a married
Expert.
man that was not being faithful to his wife. That was in fact doing all of the things that he was warning you that you should
is
avoid men who do.
just- isn't
Crazy,
that
right?
something?
Crazy town, just insane. So if that was not insane enough, then they come back onto the internet and hold hands and do a press conference.
That was a doozy.
That was a very
I
bad
honestly
look.
felt so bad for her.
That was a very bad look. She had on her, what did she call it?
The bonnet of
The,
glory.
Was that the bonnet of glory?
I don't remember.
What was it called? The salvation, the helmet of salvation,
Okay.
baby. She came back around with the helmet of salvation and made a fool of herself, right?
I hated that.
That was such a bad
I
look.
hated
It was
it.
such a bad look, such a bad look. Why would they do it? I don't know. Well, now she has reemerged, looking good.
And I was so glad
might
to
I
see
say,
her again. I
right?
was like, wow.
She's like
Stepping into
She's
herself.
stepping into herself. She is trying to, get in front, get ahead of this thing. Show that she is a person. She
I'm
can
here
stand
for
on her
it.
own. She has her own stories to tell. That is all great. Mm-hmm. She went on a podcast, Dear Future Wifey, was able to share her story finally, right?
Okay.
And I thought that it was a good look for her.
Good.
Until she got to the end. And Homegirl gave a real strong call of action to join her coaching and take her classes as she helps you navigate your relationship.
Oh. Okay.
Now, the trouble that I have in this
Talk to us.
is when you have not yet fully learned the lesson that you are trying to teach. And that goes across the board.
Coaching
this is not
too
just
soon.
Coaching too soon when you're still, and now you have come some way, but you have not come
because you haven't come
all
up
of the
on
way.
the other side of the mountain.
Oh,
yet.
you're not on the other side just yet. So to be charging for something that you have not yet figured out, that's one red flag. That's a yellow flag. The flag turns red when the price tag is $5,000.
Oh.
Because then I'm starting to think that y'all are in cahoots. And now maybe he has put you up to this. Did he build this webpage, sales page funnel for you? I don't know.
He's still in business.
Are y'all still in business? He's definitely still giving advice, and y'all are still sucking it up. This is where it gets a little fishy for me.
Oh.
Is now Derek Jackson is doing his own, interviews where he's telling his side of the story. But he is now rounding the block to the Dear Future Wifey podcast.
Oh, so he went too.
He is there now as well. And in the comments, the common consensus was very clear narcissist energy. That you can't let her have her moment.
So you got to be seen.
You got to
too.
come on back, steal her shine.
You got to be all in the
snatch
videos.
the mic and share your side on this same platform. How do you feel about that?
Oh God, there's so much information. One, I was really glad to see her come back on the scene. I felt that she was being empowered, and it's so clear to me that she is still trying to find her way. She's like a little, like a deer, like trying to get her little legs settled, right? Okay, love that, right? But to your point, baby, you got a few more months or years to go before you're fully healed and your journey is complete, where you can be teaching others how to actually go through it and come through it, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing, in terms of Derek Jackson, I just am baffled, flabbergasted, appalled that he has not found another career.
I'm not appalled that he has. I'm appalled that people are still following this man and commenting, yes, brother Derek.
This is a whole nother topic, but we could talk about this later. But this is how cults are formed. Like, there's always going to be someone that is going to believe in something that you're doing, right? And so, but if I were him, I would have developed a platform about like personal training. He likes to be in the gym. He's swole. Do that.
That seems real.
Or recovery of a narcissist. That would have been a good platform for you to do, but you are still giving out.
But he is not recovering.
Yeah, you're right. So it would have been the same thing as old girl.
Yeah, I think that y'all should take us out the group chat. I think that whatever y'all got going on, and y'all still have kids. So, I mean, obviously y'all are stuck together
But
forever.
I'm seriously wishing her the best because she's clearly still traumatized.
Yeah, working through this.
Yeah.
I am glad she's finding her voice, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of finding their voice, Lizzo, what's happening? What's happening with Lizzo?
Well,
Do you think she did it? Lizzo's being accused.
just
Do you think she
straight
did
to the
it?
point. No, I don't.
Okay.
And here's what I think she did do.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna say this as quickly as possible because I have a lot of thoughts about this. I've been thinking about it. As Black women in leadership, we oftentimes get called a lot of names. One of them is she's not nice. She's a bitch. So that's a lot of what I'm hearing from this crowd. Okay. Second thing that happens is when you're put up on a platform or a pedestal and those individuals who put you on that pedestal come to work for you, they start to have expectations of you that aren't always based in reality.
Agree.
So what I thought Lizzo was going to be, I found out that she isn't really like that, and now I'm pissed. Now I'm sad. Now, she's making me work. Oh my God, she said I have to follow these guidelines or stay within this weight class or whatever the case may be to be her performer. Yeah, she still has a job to do, right? And so I say all of that to say, I think what Lizzo did was hold them accountable as her employees. She probably was stern and very strict about certain things because she wouldn't be Lizzo if she didn't have standards, right? We wouldn't even know about her. The thing I do think she did wrong is that she, and this is something I try not to do, is the fraternization with employees. I think it's okay to be nice to employees, maybe take them out for drinks on occasion. But what she did was she took them to the red light district.
That's a little different, a little beyond drinks.
And I do think there were some bananas, whatever they were saying that she did. I think that happened.
I think she did it.
Now, do I think she forced them to do it and said, if you don't eat a banana out of this vagina, then you can no longer be my dancer? I don't think that happened. I think what happened was they felt out of place because they didn't know if they should do it, want to do it, and they were put on Front Street, and now they're blaming her because they were fired, admittedly based on something they didn't do properly.
I think it's getting...
I know that was a lie.
It was... No. I think that it just gets a little tricky.
Okay.
I think, to me, it sounds like some hazing. I think that, if 25 people say they have the same experience, one of y'all probably did have this experience.
True.
And that rumor song is really what had me like...
I don't know the lyrics. People keep talking
the
about
lyrics
it.
are, yeah, I did that shit. They trying to sue me. I did it.
Didn't
Literally.
this song come out like...
It did, but when was the lawsuit? Like, are we just hearing about it? I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. It's, again, we never know all of the details.
True.
So having opinions and crucifying people based on feelings that are not factual, I think that is where we go wrong as a society. It's because I don't feel like, and again, this black woman, black man thing, just a couple weeks ago, what's his name? The guy Megan Good is dating now.
Jonathan Majors.
Right. So he's accused of something and he's losing deals. People are tearing him down.
Yeah, I was on the fence, but I stayed quiet during that
I think that's my opinion. We should stay out of it until we really know, because you don't know. Then you find out the truth and you didn't cancel somebody.
I agree with that.
And
I agree 100% with that.
Right.
But I guess I want to be more clear on what are they saying that she did. They just said that she was mean and hostile work environment.
I think it was the banana and the vagina thing.
And if we're talking about the banana
thing.
and the vagina, that is definitely something that needs to be considered. But then again, the question is, did she actually make you do it, or did you do it?
Did
and
you
it just
see the
happened
interview where she talked about the banana and the vagina? Like even before this incident?
I saw a clip of it.
I think you've just, which again, stop putting this stuff on the internet because you're telling on yourself. Why would you, she really was like, girl, I gotta see the show with have you seen the show with the banana and the vagina? I really gotta, why would you?
She tried to be the cool boss and it backfired.
It backfired.
That's what happened.
Speaking of being the cool boss, and this is gonna wrap up our auntie tea time.
Okay.
Lil Baby, what is you doing? What is you doing, baby?
What he do?
Lil Baby has opened up a restaurant by the name of, drumroll please, the Seafood Menu. First of all, you could not have gotten any more creative than calling this place the Seafood Menu.
Seafood Menu.
Second of all, the Seafood Menu seemed to have opened prematurely before they were prepared.
I like Lil Baby.
I like Lil Baby as well. He is hilarious.
Yeah.
However, the restaurant industry is not for everyone. That
It's
seems to be the industry
hardest
everybody
industry
gets
to get into. I don't know why people want to do it so bad.
I don't know why you're racing to do this.
You couldn't pay me to open a restaurant.
But he was clearly racing because he opened the doors before they were ready. They were serving out of plasticware, canned sodas. They didn't have a liquor license. And I just don't understand why y'all keep doing this to the city of Atlanta.
Where's
Please
the
stop.
mentorship?
Please stop.
My question is this. I don't even want to talk about the mentorship. Are the nieces and nephews asking for help? Are
No,
they
they're
asking
not.
people?
They're
Because
not.
there's no way in hell anybody should have let this young man open a restaurant, no liquor license,
With plastic silverware.
agreed to let
In
him
the age of TikTok, testimonials.
serve things out of plastic ware? Who agreed? Who was on the team?
And then they didn't have half the menu. It was just bad. So please stop doing this. You're making us look bad. This is why Black businesses get a bad rap. It's
I
because
hope
we're
y'all get it
rushing
together,
to
Lil
do
Baby.
things we're not ready
I
for.
want to see it succeed. I do.
I do as well. Let's get into some Dear Auntie advice.
Okay, let's talk about it. So, Dear Auntie, I'm turning 30 next year, and I'm really starting to feel the pressure. My sisters are both married, all of my cousins have kids, and I'm single as hell with a dog. Ain't nothing wrong with having a dog, sis. I've been hyper-focused on my career, but I'm honestly not happy. How do I make time for dating when I really don't feel like it, but I know what I want for my future? Your single and sad niece, Alana.
Don't be sad,
Alana.
Alana. Sadness is not attractive. Let's start there. Happiness is, though. happiness, joy, finding your joy. That's how you're going to find your man, sis.
So
okay?
basically, you just got to pretend to be happy.
No, don't pretend. Actually find your joy. Fill your time. This is my advice. Fill your time with things that you actually love. I think that you will attract goodness to you when you're in good spirits. So if you're spending your time doing things or around people who put you in a bad mood, make you feel bad about yourself, got you stressed out, then that's the energy that you're going to exude.
Yeah.
So half of the battle is finding your joy. The other thing that I'm going to say is leave your house, okay? Make time for what you really want. I think that so many people say they want things, but then they're not willing to do what it takes.
The work.
Yeah, they're not willing to do the work to support the things that you say you want. So if you want a healthy, happy relationship, which I'm assuming that you do, you're going to have to put just as much time and energy and effort into your personal goals as you are into your professional ones. So you said you've been focused on your career. I'm sure you are doing what it takes to climb the corporate ladder. You're going above and beyond. You're showing up on time. You are taking on additional tasks. You're doing all of the things that you think that it takes to impress your boss.
All of the stuff.
To, get your raise, to do what you got to do. What are you doing for your relationship? Yeah. Are you leaving the house? Are you looking like something when you leave the house? Are you putting a smile on your face? Are you being kind? Are you putting yourself in environments? Go to the park and walk your dog. Put yourself in environments where you can find potential mates.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I don't have anything to add to that. Go where the men are.
Where should she go with the dogs? There's lots of doggy places.
Well, I don't know where you are, but if you're here in Atlanta, Piedmont Park.
They got some shit for these dog parents. What is that place called, Carmen? I'm annoyed by that place.
I'm not telling you.
It's so. They have literally like a place you can go have drinks with your dog.
Yes, they do.
It's ridiculous. I want to take my baby to have drinks.
I'm
jealous.
I think they let the dog owners drink because they don't feel
have
as
to drive
bad
their kids
that
home
we're
after.
driving infants.
Doesn't make sense. You're
Anyway,
right.
But I agree 100%. Like if you're here in Atlanta, I don't know where you are, but go to Piedmont Park. There's always guys out there exercising, walking around. Or you could go to a dog park. They have a dog park area out there. And when I go, I see men out there. I'm not looking.
Are there single men at the dog park?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've seen some.
Pet stores, maybe? Is that? I mean, not pet stores, but like PetSmart.
Yeah. And maybe, where else could you go? So we said the dog park, hotel lobby bars are good. Expensive hotels, though.
Even dating apps, honestly. Dating apps are good to get your feet wet.
Yeah.
So, quick story. I did a 10-date Tinder challenge right before I met my husband. I did not meet my husband on Tinder, but Tinder helped me to warm up again to dating. It helped me to find new things that I liked. It helped me to try new places, meet new people, and take the pressure off of, I got to find my husband. It was like, no, I'm just going to have fun, flirt a little bit.
Tinder was an interesting period.
Yeah.
Are people still on Tinder?
People are on Tinder. I met somebody, I had somebody yesterday on my summit that met their husband on Tinder. So it's happening.
Oh, interesting.
But I think it's a numbers game. Dating is a numbers game. You got to go through the frogs to get to the prince. So if you're not kissing any frogs, where's the prince gonna find you? That means you probably at your house.
Start somewhere.
You gotta leave your house.
Yeah.
Okay, so good luck, Alana. Dear Auntie, I always find myself on the phone listening to everyone's issues. My friends and family think I have all the answers and it's starting to drain me. How do I start putting myself first and stop letting them stress me? Your niece, Tisha. Ooh, this is the year of no, Tisha.
I could go on and on about
Year
that.
of no. It's called boundaries.
Put a boundary in place.
Yes. How do you do it? Because you're better than me.
Honestly, I've had to do this with so many people in my life. Like, because I am that go-to girl where people call me and ask me questions. And what should I do with my life? And finally, and a matter of fact, it was this year where I was already off the boat. But I'm like out the ocean at this point. Like nobody talked to me about your problems. And I hate to sound that way, but it really is. I have removed myself from the equation.
How did you do it?
Well, what I started doing was I used a lot of my discretion. I made the time to decide whether or not this was worth my time. So for example, I have a friend who always has issues no matter what. Like it's whether it's the baby daddy or her mom, whatever the case may be. And so whenever, I know it sounds bad, whenever I deemed the issue something that was like an emergency, or like I know she can only talk to me about it, then I would make the time to talk to her about it. But if it was something where I felt like somebody else could help her with the situation, or I wasn't needed in the equation, then I freed myself from it. And I was like, no, I can't do it right now. I can't talk about it.
Because you'll end up taking on that energy, that baggage, that emotion.
And it has been the best thing that I've ever done. Even with my family members, I do the same thing with them. Carmen, let's plan a trip. Or, Carmen, I don't know. Y'all figure it out. Let me know when y'all make the reservation. Let me know when you book the flight, and then I'll book my flight. Okay, so
I'm not about to be the responsible party.
I'm not gonna be the responsible party. And so I think what it really is about is respecting yourself enough to give yourself that peace, right? And stop trying to respect everybody else. Put everybody else over your feelings.
And it's okay to not answer your phone. I think you can free yourself from feeling obligated to respond to every text message within 5 minutes, to pick up every phone call. Everybody who calls your phone should not have access to you.
Yes.
Right? Just because they have your phone number does not mean that they have 24/7 on-demand access to you. So
Correct.
maybe get some, y'all know, what's the movie? The 5 Heartbeats.
Yes.
My office hours are
from 9 to
5. You got to put some office hours in place, sis.
That is so.
Have some
that's
office hours for your
good.
life.
That is so good. No, I mean, I had to do that with work. First of all, when I first started doing what I
that
do
would be
now,
a 24/7 thing
yes,
if you let it.
And I had to go to therapy for that. And I think I told the story before where I was telling my therapist, like, I'm working around the clock. I'm so tired. And she's like, listen, this is your plan. Your plan is this. You work from these hours, and then at 6 p.m., you close your laptop, and I am prescribing you have to go outside, you have to make dinner, whatever it is that you do after 6, but put that boundary in place where you're not responding to any more emails, and people don't expect you to respond to those emails.
Because we set ourselves up by, I'm just going to, and then that becomes the expectation.
Yeah.
Now you're obligated to just.
Oh, well, she responds to emails at 7 p.m., so I can email her at 7 p.m., and now she's going to be.
And now you're pissed.
Yeah.
But you've set yourself up. You got to teach people how to treat you. So give yourself permission to establish some boundaries.
But it is harder, I just want to say, it is harder in intimate relationships.
It is.
And so.
But girl, I will not answer my mom's phone call if I'm not in the space or I have the capacity.
I can't with you.
I'm just saying, to handle, it will be to the point, and I have kids now, so it's a little different because she's calling for them at this point. So that's kind of rude. But it would be to the point where she's like, are you screening your phone calls again? After like 3 days, she's like, are you screening your phone calls again? Yes, I am, because I'm not in the mood for that
I'm
right
not in the
now.
mood.
I'm not.
Okay. So that's our advice. I think we answered your question.
Free yourself, Tisha.
All right, next up. Dear Auntie, my best friend is dating a dirtbag.
Oh, not dirtbag.
Haven't heard that term in a while. And I don't know what to do. He shows clear red flags to me, but she seems to be oblivious. He flirts with waitresses when we go to dinner. He's always liking and commenting on girls' photos on Instagram. And he changes the subject when she mentions marriage. How do I tell her to stop wasting her time? Your niece, Moniece.
You can't. I don't think you can. I've been there, done that, and people get mad at me.
They don't listen.
They don't. Not only do they not listen, they're gonna have an attitude with you.
Yeah, now you're the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, literally a handful of times, and it always, never fails. None of these people end up marrying the person, and they always circle back and be like, you know what? I just gotta apologize.
Bad.
Yeah, I just gotta apologize because
Yeah.
I've literally had this conversation a handful of times, and I'm not a I told you so person because who cares?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna
mention it.
If you're really my friend, I'm gonna mention it.
You're gonna say,
I can't let you just ride off to hell with this guy.
yeah. How do I tell her to stop wasting her time? So you're still saying tell,
but she's not gonna listen.
But know that
Tell
the
with no
consequences
expectation.
are gonna probably not work in her favor. I'm gonna have to agree. I did this in college, and I told a friend of mine, hey, I saw your man down to the bar.
Not seen him.
I seen him down to the bar with somebody else who she ain't look like you. And they both basically told me to mind my business. So I was like, oh, I learned in college. I learned early on in my 20s, thank God, that to keep those kinds of thoughts to myself.
Yeah, you'll lose friends over that.
Yeah.
And then And then it's like a
'Cause what are you
shameful
really gonna
thing.
get?
You're not getting anything. So I don't say mind your business. I don't say mind your business.
Yeah,
because
I don't want to put it that way.
I had friends mind their business with me, and I almost married an abusive person.
Yeah.
So that is
tough.
that's why
The
I am the way that
discretion.
I am, is because after we broke up, everybody's like, well, I was thinking, and I felt like you was
Why
just gonna let
didn't you
me
tell
marry him
me?
though. You didn't mention it. So I don't want to be that person.
Okay, I changed my mind. I feel like, well, does it matter the level of dirtbag? Like, is the dirtbag meaning that he just... Okay, so it says he flirts with waitresses and he likes and comments on Instagram.
Gray area.
I'm going to put that at a level 3.
Okay. If you're flirting with a waitress in front of me though, it's I don't know.
Level 4
Out of 10 or 5?
out of 10.
Okay, so what's a non-dirtbag?
A non-dirtbag is you like leave me on the curb after a date and it's
Okay, that's
raining.
a dirtbag. Okay,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
I'm out in the cold. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
So this is not deep enough for her to even mention.
I don't think we're answering the question, but I don't think so. I think if we are worried about her preserving her friendship, which it sounds like she is, and we already have said based on our experience
It's not gonna help.
that it's not going to help, then is this really worth her mentioning to her friend? Should her friend just learn on her own? And she's probably going to dump
mad
the
at you
guy in the
and feel some
next
type of
year
way.
or so anyway.
Yeah, I think if she asks you,
There you go.
I think if she asks you, then for sure, but don't go out of your way unless you see it down at the cafe with somebody who don't look
Down
like your
to the
friend.
bar.
Yeah. So Alana, Tisha, Moniece, hopefully this was helpful. If you're
Hopefully.
tuned in and you got some advice, some wisdom, maybe an experience that you would like to share, please feel free. Leave some auntie advice down in the comments below. And if you need some advice, head over to dearauntipod.com to submit your question anonymously. Lastly, if you happen to be a business owner and you want to send us some stuff to rock
Us, me and
both
her.
of us.
'Cause she
Y'all
got
gotta
the
hook
t-shirts
kinda
and the
up,
shirts and
okay?
everything.
Personally, she hooked me up this week. Shout out to Tawana. But my girl needs some stuff, okay? So email us, dearauntipod@gmail.com. We would proudly support
Yes,
and
we
promote your business, all right? Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, all that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.